Hello, Corey Campbell here. And do you guys ever wonder if you'll become debt free? So I know quite a few number of years ago, I thought that debt free was kind of like fairy tale land. Right? Like it's not something that was ever possible in my mind. It's kind of like normal living, right? So my question to you is, do you have debt that you're dealing with? And maybe you feel like you're drowning in debt and adding that to it. I'm going to give you top tips. I have 4 top secret tips that will help you develop a strategic plan to help you become debt free. It'll take some time to get you there. It's not some magic wand that makes all your debt and bills go away. And if you have credit collectors or debt collectors chasing after you, totally understand that. It won't make them all go away, but they are tips that will help you manage your money better. All right? And if you know anyone of your friends that needs to hear this, tag them in the comments or share this with them because they're going to want to have these tips. Super secret tips. Not super secret, but I just like saying super secret. It's just fun. It's just fun. So ready? All right, number 1. And I've got my notes, so I'm reading off of those. First step to living debt-free and being financially free, the first step, take time and write out every single thing that you spend money on. Everything that you spend money on. Whether it costs you $1,000, $20,000, or 5 cents. If you spend money on it some way, it needs to get written down. Hey, Erica. So it needs to get written down. Start a little notebook. Get yourself, it can be a brand new notebook or you can get just a legal pad and write everything down. Start with the standard bills. So, hey, Lynn. Good to see you guys on. Start with the standard bills. So if you have a mortgage and that's the same thing every month, those are easy ones to start with. If you have a car payment, if you have a phone bill, an electric bill, a water bill, let's see, what else is there? Cable, Wi-Fi, if you have a Netflix subscription, if you've got Amazon Prime, I don't know if there's a subscription for that. So all of your stuff that's standard, write it down, and then take that notebook around with you for at least a whole week, including a Saturday and a Sunday, so at least 7 consecutive days. You get a better idea if you took it for 2 or 3 weeks, but at least 1 week you'll get a good idea, and every time you spend money, you're going to write it down. You're going to, you go to the coffee shop and you spend $5 or whatever it costs for a coffee, and you're going to write that down on your little log. And you go to the grocery store and you buy your groceries, you're going to write that down. You go to the gas station, get gas, write it down. Go inside the gas station and you buy a pack of gum, write that down, right? Write everything down. I will tell you, this step is so important. It will totally make the next 3 tips go a lot easier for you because you'll actually watch your spending. It's crazy the amount of money that just goes, especially with like debit cards and credit cards, because you could just swipe or chip, stick it in the chip machine and it just, magical money, it just disappears. So it makes it so easy that money is just going. And it's easy to lose track of that. So take the time, really write it out. That's going to help set the marker for your plan for what we're going to do next. After you do that, then my next secret tip is cut out the excess spending. So after you analyze that and you take away your standard bills, the excess spending. So things like maybe you go out to lunch. So maybe you go to work and you work 5 days a week and you go out to lunch 5 days a week. Or maybe you go to the coffee shop and you get your coffee on the way to work 5 days a week. And sometimes you just go on Saturday, right? So think of those as excess spending and how you can substitute it by making better choices and doing things at home. So for those examples, instead of eating out at lunch, you pack a lunch and you take a lunch with you. Instead of going to the coffee shop on your way to work, you make coffee at home. Maybe it's inconvenient because maybe it makes you wake up 5 minutes out of the day. But if you had to get up 5 minutes earlier to guarantee that you will be debt-free, wouldn't you do it? Wouldn't you do it? Hey, Michelle. So I could pretty much guarantee that if you knew for sure that you could become debt-free just by giving yourself a little bit, a cushion in the morning to make your own coffee, you would get up, you'd set that alarm clock 5-10 minutes early so you could make your coffee, put it in a thermos, take it with you. I've seen it happen so many times to make that subtle change. Doesn't take a lot. After you look over your 7 to 14 day of all of your spending habits, think of what is excess. Eating out for lunch and drinking coffee, tea, whatever, fancy lattes, frappuccinos. I don't know. I don't drink this stuff, so I don't know what it's all called. But they can get all kinds of crazy. And the price tags are nuts. So look at your excess spending. It could be some of that type of stuff. Eliminate that. Substitute it with something else. It's totally easy to do. Maybe you consider it a slight inconvenience, but again, I guarantee you'll make the change if you know for sure that you're going to be debt-free. You're going to eliminate all that debt. A big stress for Americans, can't speak for other countries because I only know Americans come to me and they stress out about this. A big stress is money. Where's the money come from? How am I going to pay these bills? What we don't realize is that we're spending a lot of excess things. Take a look at some of your subscriptions. So for example, I looked over finances with someone and they're paying for Netflix, but they haven't, like the Netflix that you can get the DVDs, and they haven't used it in over a year, but they've paid it every single month. So we just eliminated that. They were using the streaming, so we kept that aspect. So we cut out the DVDs and we saved them a few bucks. A few bucks a month adds up. So look into if you can make any of those substitutions. You can also call your insurance company to see maybe it was the last time that they evaluated. Maybe you've gotten a new car or maybe you moved closer to work or something, so they can make an adjustment. You can always ask them to run an estimate for you to see if they can make a change to it. Call up your phone company. Ask them if they've got any discounts that they could offer you because you've been a loyal customer. Same thing with your cable company. You can still do those types of things. Reach out to them and ask them those questions. Once you start making changes to what you're spending, take all of that money that you used to be spending, but now you're not, and you're going to apply it to a debt or a bill. So for example, let's say that normally you'd go out and you get a $5 coffee 5 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you drive to whatever coffee shop and you get your $5 coffee. I don't know if it costs that much, but I like round numbers for math. All right, so you get your $5 coffee 5 days a week. That's 25 bucks. It's like $100 a month. It's a lot of money on coffee. Guarantee you can make it at home for like pennies. So now you've decided, I'm going to get up 5-10 minutes early. I'm going to make my coffee at home, put it in my fancy thermos, and take it with me to work. So I'm saving, you think I'm saving 25 bucks a week, $100 a month. And what people would normally do is then they would spend that money on something else. Here's what I want you to take away from this. This is a big change in a spending habit, is if you take that 25 bucks a week and apply it to a bill. Now, 25 bucks a week is something that you were normally spending. So I'm not changing any of your mental spending habits. I'm just changing where you're putting your money at. So if you take that 25 bucks and instead of spending it on coffee or going out and buying a new purse or a new outfit or something, you're going to take that 25 bucks and put it on a debt. This could be add it to your mortgage, add it to your car payment that you normally take. If you've got a credit card debt, add it on to that bill. So now $100 a month extra that you have for something else. Another example is maybe you eat out at lunchtime twice a week. And let's just say that that costs $25 for 2 times a week. Keep the same round number, so it's still $100. And you can apply that $100 toward another bill. Credit card bills go off real quick with that, adding it to your mortgage, so now you're getting more of your principal paid off. Same goes for a car payment. Get that principal down with that extra payment. Now imagine if you had 5 days of coffee. Now comment down below if you're spending more than 5, I don't know, tell me what a cup of coffee costs. Is it around $5? I'm just guessing. I don't drink coffee. I don't know. I mean, I get hot tea every once in a while, and that's like $2. So, I don't know. Comment down below and tell me what's the average going rate for one of those fancy coffee drinks. Starbucks or your local coffee shop. So, imagine if you're spending the $25 on coffee a week, and you're going out to lunch twice a week. That's $50 a week, just in our easy mathematical equation. That's $200 a month. What would you do if you had an extra $200 a month? How would that make you feel? What could you do with an extra $200 a month? Right? If you have debt, use that money, pay off that debt. All right, so that's actually secret tip number 2 and 3 is to using that. Now, secret tip number 4. Now, this tip is expert level. This is like pro tip. You guys, here we go. Follow me here. If you don't, comment down below. I'll answer your questions as they come through. But this is crazy pro tip. Once I take that $100 extra, and let's just use a credit card example. Let's say I've got a credit card debt, and I make the normal credit card payment I was making, and I add an extra $100 to it every month. So let's just say I do that, and then that card is paid off. So let's say normally I pay $75 a month on the credit card. I'm adding my extra $100 to it. So now I'm paying an extra $175 on a credit card. Now, and I pay that $175 every month, until the card is now paid off. Here's the super crazy pro tip. Take that $175 that you were normally paying on that credit card, and now you're going to apply that to a different bill. So now let's say the next bill is your car payment. So now as you take that extra $175 that you were normally paying, so again, I'm not changing anything with your financial mindset, just shifting where you put it, and you pay off your car. You will pay off that car crazy fast. And you want to take that super awesome, like crazy pro tip to the next level. Now you're going to add what you were paying on the car, which we were normally paying, plus the $175 that you added. You're going to take all of that. So let's say your car payment was, $300. So you had 3 plus 175, so now we've got 475. You take that 475 and you apply it to another bill. So let's move on to the mortgage. What would an extra $475 do to your mortgage? How fast would you guys be able to pay off your mortgage to your house and actually become a true homeowner and not just renting it or paying it off to the bank? Imagine life at that point. You guys, I know that I said earlier that I thought living debt-free was total fairy tale land, and I had a house payment, I had a car payment, I had a ridiculous amount of student loan payments. My student loans for my college degrees was like $150,000 for my student loans. You add on a mortgage, a car, all of that extra stuff on there, and daily living. I had a lot of debt, so I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to live debt-free and have the freedom to go and travel, do the things that I love, and do all of that. I followed these 4. These are the exact steps, the super secret tips, the exact steps that I followed, and I paid off all of my student loans. This was a few years ago I even paid that off. I paid off my car in a year. I had like a 5 or 6 year loan or something on my car. I paid it off in a year. The only thing I have left now is a house payment for a house that I have back home in Florida. And that house payment is so piddly. It's like nothing. It's nothing. And I've actually turned that into a rental property, so that's paying for itself. Now, you guys, imagine I'm living debt-free. And it's possible. It's possible. I became debt-free in my 30s, and I know that anybody can do it at any age. If you want tips for that, follow it. It's a structure. If you want some help and support for that, definitely reach out to me. I love talking money management. It's awesome stuff. Great things for you to follow is Dave Ramsey. He's got tons of stuff. If you have watched Dave Ramsey stuff or read some of his stuff, comment down below because I want my Dave Ramsey buddies. I'm going to learn from you guys. So I've learned tons from his courses and books and articles, and there's a podcast he has too that's really cool. It's I think it's called Money Management. But anyway, just if you listen to podcasts, just search for Dave Ramsey. Tons of awesome stuff out there for you guys. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. If you found value, please share it with a friend. If you know someone that's struggling with money, struggling to pay those bills and get ahead, always feeling like they're struggling behind, please share this with them to get them on the right track and put that out there for everyone. Again, not having a whole lot to do with this, although it does help if you don't have the stress from that. If you have stress in your life and you're struggling with stress, whether that be stress because of money or stress because of health issues or physical issues, you can't get to work because you hurt so much, any kind of additional stress in your life, I've got some awesome tips to share to help reduce your stress and even potentially eliminate it if you follow the steps. All right. If you want those special stress tips, send me a private message. Tell me, hey, I want the stress tips. I will send them over to you right away so you can get started on reducing your stress and listen to these tips and reduce your debt. All right, you guys, I'm Corey Campbell. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Awesome. Love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.